The Egyptian tomb. Over the next month, August and I hung out a lot after school, either at his house or my house. August's parents even invited either my mom and me over for dinner a couple of times. I overheard them talking about fixing mom up on a blind date with August's uncle Ben. On the day of the Egyptian Museum exhibit, we were all not as much as it snowed over the Thanksgiving break, but still, snow is snow. The snow is snow. The gym was turned into a giant museum, except everyone artifact was on this table with a little caption card explaining what the thing was. Most of the artifacts were really great, but I have to say I really think mine and August were the best. The sculpture of Ambinus looks pretty real, and I had even used real gold paint on it. And August had made his step pyramid out of sugar cubes. It was 2 feet high and 2 feet long, and he painted the cubes with some of the fake sand paint or something. It looked awesome. We all dressed up in Egyptian costumes. Some of the kids were Indian Jones type archaeologists. Some of them dressed up like pharaohs. August and I dressed up like mummies. Our faces were covered except for 2 little holes for the eyes and 1 hole for the mouth. When the parents showed up, they all lined up in the hallway in front of the gym. Then we were told we could go get our parents, and each kid got to take his or her parent on a flashlight tour through the dark gym. August and I took our moms around together. We stopped at each exhibit, explaining what it was, talking in whispers, answering questions since it was dark. We used our flashlight to illuminate the artifacts while we were talking. Sometimes, or dramatic tricks, we would hold the flashlights under our chins while we were explaining something. In detail. It was so much fun hearing all those whispers in the dark, seeing all the light zigzagging across the room. At one point, I went over to get a drink at the water fountain and had to take my mummy wrap off my face. "Hey, Summer," said Jack, who came over to talk to me. He was dressed like the man from The Mummy. "Cool costume. Thanks. Is that the other mummy? Is the other mummy August?" "Yeah." Hey, do you know why August is mad at me?" I nodded. "Can you tell me?" "No," he nodded. He seemed bummed. "I told him I would tell you," I explained. "It's so weird," he said. "I have no idea why he's mad at me at all. All of a sudden, none. Can't you at least give me a hint of this?" I looked over at where August was across the room, talking to our moms. I wasn't about to break my solid oath that I would tell anyone what he had overheard at Halloween, but I felt bad for Jack. "Bleeding scream," I whispered in his ear and then walked away. Jack. The call. So in August, my parents got this call from Mr. Tushman, the middle school director, and my mom said maybe he calls the new students to welcome them. And my dad said, "That's a lot of kids he'd be calling," so my mom called him back. And I would hear her talking to Mr. Tushman on the phone. This is exactly what she said. "Oh, hi, Mr. Tushman. This is Amanda Will, returning to your call." Pause. "Oh, thank you. So nice of you to say. He is looking forward to it." Pause. "Yes." Pause. "Yeah." Pause. "Oh, sure." Long pause. "Oh, Pause. "Yeah, that's so nice of you to say." Pause. "Sure." "Oh, wow. Ooh, super long pause. "I see, of course. I'm sure he will. Let me write it down. I got it. I'll call you after I had a chance to talk to him, okay?" Pause. "No, thank you for thinking of him. Bye-bye." And then my mom hung up. I was like, "What's up?" And what did he say? And my mom said, "It's actually very flattering, but kind of sad, too. See, there's this boy who's starting middle school this year, and he has never been to a real school environment before because he was homeschooled. So Mr. Tushman talked to some of the lower school teachers to find out who they thought Some of the really, really great kids coming into 5th grade. The teachers already knew, of course, and so Mr. Tushman was wondering. I sort of shepherd this new boy around a bit. Let him hang out with me? I said. Exactly, said Mom. He called it being a welcome buddy. I told you, your teachers told Mr. Tushman that you were the kind of kid who's known for being a good egg. I mean, so proud what they think so highly of you. Why is it sad? What do you mean? Oh, it's kind of flattering, but kind of sad too. Oh, Mom nodded. Well, apparently this boy has some sort of I guess there's something wrong with his face or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe he was in an accident. Mr. Tushman will explain a bit more when you come to the school next week. School doesn't start till September. He wants you to meet this kid before school starts. Do you have to? Mom looked a bit surprised. Well, no, of course not, she said. But it will be the nice thing to do, Jack, if I don't have to do it. I said, I don't want to do it. Can you at least think about it? Well, I'm thinking about it and I don't want to do it. Well, I'm not going to force you, she said, but at least think about it some more, okay? I'm not calling Mr. Tushman back until tomorrow, so sit in with it a bit. I mean, Jack, I really don't think it's that much to ask you to spend a little extra time with a new kid. It's not just that he's a new kid, Mom, I answered. He's deformed. That's a terrible thing to say, Jack. He is, Mom. You don't even know who he is. Yeah, I do, I said, because I knew the second she started talking about him that I knew that kid named was August. I remember seeing him from the first time leaning on the carvel of Emerson Avenue when I was 5 or 6. Me and Veronica, my babysitter, were sitting on a bench outside the store with Jamie, my baby brother, who was sitting in a stroller facing us. I guess I was busy eating my own ice cream cone because I didn't even notice the people who sat down next to us. At that point, I turned my head to stroke the ice cream out the bottom of my cone, and that's when I saw him. August. He was sitting right next to me. I know it wasn't cool, but I kind of went when I saw him because I honestly got scared. I thought he was wearing a zombie mask or something. It was kind of you say you're watching a scary movie and the bad guys jump out of the bushes. Anyway, I know it wasn't nice of me to do that, and the new kids didn't hear me. I know his sister did. Jack, we have to go, said Veronica. He had gotten up and was turning the stroller around because Jamie, who had obviously just noticed the kid too, was about to say something embarrassing. So I jumped on kind of suddenly, and like a bee had landed on me, and followed Veronica as she zoomed away. I could hear the kid's mom saying softly behind us, "Okay, guys, I think it's time to go." And I turned around to look at them one more time. The kid was licking his ice cream cone, and my mom was picking up his scooter, and the sister was glaring at me like she was going to kill me. I looked away quickly. "Veronica, what's wrong with that kid?" I whispered. "Hush, boy," she said, her voice angry. I love Veronica, but when she got mad, she got mad. Meanwhile, while Jamie was practically spilling out his stroller, trying to get another look as Veronica pushed him away. "But Veronica," said Jamie, "you boys were very naughty, Veronica said as soon as we were down the block. "Staring like that. I didn't mean to, Veronica," said Jamie. "Us leaving like that." Veronica was smothering. "Oh, Lord, that poor lady. I tell you, boys, every day we should thank the Lord for our blessings. You hear me?" "What is it, Jamie? Is it Halloween?" "No, Jamie." "Then why was that boy wearing a mask?" Veronica didn't answer. Sometimes when she's mad about something, she would do that. "He wasn't wearing a mask," I explained to Jamie. "Hush, Jack," said Veronica. "Why are you so mad, Veronica?" I couldn't help asking. I thought this would make her angrier, but she actually shook her head. It was bad how he did that, she said. I was just getting up like that, like we just seen the devil. I was so scared for what Jamie was going to say. No, I didn't want him to say anything that would hurt the little boy's feelings. But it was really bad, us leaving like that. Mama knew what was going on, but we didn't mean it, I answered. Jack, sometimes you don't understand to hurt someone. You understand? This was the first time I ever saw August in the neighborhood. Then a couple of times in the playground, few times in the neighborhood. The neighborhood knew it was him. Everyone had seen August at least some point or another. We all know his name, though he doesn't know ours. And whenever I seen him, I try to remember what Veronica says, but it's hard. It's not to sneak a second look. It's hard to act normal when you see him. I changed my mind. Who else did Mr. Tushman call? I asked Mom later that night. Did he tell you? He didn't mention Julian and Charlotte. Julian? I said. Why Julian? You used to be friends with Julian. Mom, that was like in kindergarten. Julian's the biggest phony there is, and he's trying so hard to be popular all the time. Gotta give him credit for that. I didn't say anything because he was right. What about Charlotte? I asked. Is she doing too? Of course she is. Charlotte is such a goody two-shoes, I answered. Boy, Jack, you seem to have a problem with everybody these days. I started. Mom, you have no idea what kids are like. I can't imagine. No, you can't. You can't. Have you ever seen him? I have. It might even be who you're thinking it is. Trust me, it is, and I'm telling you, it's really bad. He's deformed, Mom. Her eyes like down there. I pointed to my cheeks, and he has no ears, and his mouth's like... Jamie walked into the kitchen to get a juice box from the fridge. Ask Jamie, I said. Right, Jamie? Remember that kid we saw in the park after school right there? The kid named August? The one with the face? Oh, that kid? Said Jamie. Remember that? Oh, that kid, said Jamie, his eyes opening wide. He gave me a nightmare, remember, Mommy? The nightmare about the zombies from last year? I thought that was from watching a scary movie, answered Mom. No, said Jamie, it was from seeing that kid. When I saw him, I was like, ah, and I ran away. Wait a minute, Mom said, getting serious. Did you do that in front of him? I couldn't help it, Jamie, kind of whining. Of course you couldn't help it, Mom scowled. Guys, I have to tell you, I'm really disappointed by what you did. And she looked like she sounded scounded. I mean, honestly, he's just a little boy, just like you. Can you imagine how he felt you running away from him? Jamie screaming? It wasn't a scream, Jamie argued. It was like, ah! He put his hand on his cheek and started running around the kitchen. Come on, Jamie, said Mom angrily. I thought both of my boys were more sympathetic than that. What's sympathetic? Jamie, who was the only one going into second grade. You know exactly what I mean by sympathetic, Jamie, said Mom. It's just he's so ugly, Mom. Me? Said Jamie. Hey, Mom yelled. I don't like that word. Jamie, get your juice box. I want to talk to Jack alone for a second. Look, Jack, said Mom as soon as he left. I knew she was about to give me a whole speech. Okay, I'll do it, I said with completely shocked her. You will? Yes, so I can call Mr. Tushman? Yes, Mom, yes. I said yes. Mom smiled. I knew you will rise to the occasion, kiddo. Good for you. I'm proud of you, Jackie. She messed up my hair. So here's why I changed my mind. I wasn't so I wouldn't have to hear my mom's whole lecture, and it wasn't to protect August from this kid named Julian. I knew would be a jerk about the whole thing. It was just because I heard Jamie talking about how he had run away from August going, ah! I suddenly felt really bad. The thing is, there's always going to be kids like Julian who are jerks. If a little kid like Jamie, who's really usually a nice kid though, he can be that mean when a kid like August doesn't stand a chance in middle school. 4 things. First of all, you do get used to his face. The first couple of times, I was like, whoa, I'm never gonna get used to this. And then, about a week later, I was like, it's not so bad. Second of all, he's like actually a real cool dude. You mean he's like pretty funny, like the teacher will say something and August will whisper something funny to me that no one else hears and totally makes me crack up. He's just so overall a nice kid. Like, he's easy to hang out with and talk to and stuff. Third of all, he's really smart. I thought he'd be behind everyone because he hadn't gone to school anymore, but in the most thing, he's way ahead of me. I mean, I'm maybe not smart as Charlotte or Zemelia, but he's up there. And unlike Charlotte or Zemelia, he let me cheat off him, and if I really need to. Though I only need to copy a couple of times. He also let me copy his homework once, and we both got in trouble after class. You two got the exact same answers wrong on yesterday's homework, Mr. Rubin said, looking at both of us like she's wanting an explanation. Oh, I didn't know what to say, because the explanation would be, that's because I copied August's homework. August lied to protect me. Oh, that's because we did our homework together last night, which wasn't true either. Well, doing homework together is a good thing, Mr. Rubin answered, but you're supposed to do it separately, okay? You could work side by side if you want, but don't actually do your homework together. Got it? After we asked the question, I said, dude, thanks for doing that. And it was like, no problem. That was cool. Fourthly, now that I know him, I would say I actually do want to be friends with August. At first, admit it, I was the only friendly kid to him because Mr. Tushman asked me to especially be nice and all that. But now, I would choose to hang out with him. He laughs at all my jokes. I kind of feel like I can tell August anything. He's like a real good friend, and all the guys in 5th grade were lined up against the wall to choose anyone I wanted to hang out with. I would choose August. This is the end of this video. Bye!